Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this very special webinar today. I am Jocelyn Starfeather, and I am so excited to share with you today reclaiming ritual and magic as an integral part of our daily lives. And so as you are joining, please go ahead over to the chat and put your name and location in there so I can see who is on and where you're zooming in from. And also, while you're doing that, I'm going to go live on YouTube, so bear with me for just a moment. And yeah, welcome everybody. As you're joining, please put your name and location in the chat. I can't wait to see who is on today. And I am just going live on YouTube here. I think I have to start it again. Let's try again. It's been an interesting day with technology. I don't know if anyone else is having that same experience. Oh, I see what went wrong here. Okay. Continue. Okay, if it doesn't work soon, maybe we'll do Facebook instead. Okay, well, let me start welcoming everybody here. So, welcome to Libra. So glad to see you here. Welcome, Adrienne in Ireland. Welcome, Darlene. Welcome, Tracy in the UK. Welcome, Tamara in San Diego. Corina in Holland. Mariana in Peru. Jen in Portland. Jade in Sherwood, Oregon. Carmen in Bermuda. Janine in San Diego. Amy in Texas. Angelina in North Italy. Lucia in Austria, welcome. Christina in California. Marie Alice in Quebec. Michelle in Louisiana. I've been to Lafayette, Louisiana, a long time ago, Michelle, I was there. Tracy in Tucson, Arizona. Erhard in Denmark, welcome. Now everybody, as you're commenting in Zoom, please be sure to select panelists and attendees in the drop-down box right above where you put your comment, okay? If you select panelists and attendees, then everybody can see your comment. But if it only says panelists, then only I can see it. So just want to make sure you're aware of that. I think we need to stop the YouTube live. I'm going to try Facebook now, and let's just see what happens. If that doesn't work, then I will not worry about it, and we will just be on Zoom. Looks like this is working for Facebook. Okay, well, Facebook was meant to be. Welcome, Samot in North Carolina. I hope I said your name right. Facebook was meant to be. Okay, there we go. We're on Facebook. Yay. Okay. Welcome, Robin in San Francisco, June in Ontario, Sandy in Ontario, Jeffrey in Oregon, Rose in Austria, Mel in the UK, John in Las Vegas, Lauren in South Africa. Sending prayers to everybody in South Africa. I know you have a lot of turmoil going on there, and a lot has happened in the last week or two. So prayers and blessings to you there in South Africa and everyone there. Welcome, Kathleen in Seattle. Welcome, Sarah in Bloomington, Indiana. Joanne in Boston. Christy in Myrtle Beach. Valerie in Ireland. Wonderful. Welcome, everybody. Samut says, is everyone here Aquarius? That's a great question. I think we have a lot of Aquarians here. I think we have a lot of Scorpios here as well, and a lot of Leos. That's what I generally see in these audiences. But yes, Samut, I do think there's a lot of Aquarius energy here for sure. And we're about to have a full moon in Aquarius. So we are aligned. All right, well, welcome everybody. And yeah, that's great. Go ahead and put your sun sign or moon sign or rising sign or anything you have in Aquarius into the chat. I would love to see that. Very, very cool. Very amazing. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, well, yes, welcome everybody. So I am super excited to share this with you today, everyone. You're going to hear a presentation that's called Reclaiming Ritual and Magic as an Integral Part of Our Daily Lives. And then I'm going to lead you in an experiential shamanic journey that will be really powerful, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Now, I do want to mention that if you have a candle, I had mentioned in the emails to bring a candle. So if you have your candle, go ahead and light it. Or if you have incense or Palo Santo or sage, go ahead and light that now. And also bring forward any sacred object that you might have brought with us, something that has meaning for you, something that feels powerful for you. I have two things that I'll share with you. I have an Isis statue that is from Egypt, and also a buffalo, which is my guide and protector. And Isis, of course, is here to support us in the magic, in the mysteries, in the ritual as we dive in today. So with your candle or incense or sage or Palo Santo and your sacred object, let's just take a moment to drop in here into sacred space. So go ahead and close your eyes and just allow your awareness to drop down out of the thinking mind, away from the busyness, away from the to-do list that might be swirling, and just drop your awareness down into your heart. Take a deep breath in to your heart space, breathing in, filling up, really allowing yourself to be filled with the power of the oxygen and the sunlight and all the magic that naturally surrounds us every day, wherever we are. And feel your connection with the earth below you through your root chakra, as well as feeling your connection with the cosmos above you through your crown chakra. And just feel how we as humans are like pillars in the center between the heavens and the earth, between the above and the below. Take another deep breath into your heart and allow yourself to receive the unconditional love of the mother from below, at the same time as you are receiving the infinite wisdom of the cosmos and the heavens from above. Allow these energies to flow into your body, to circulate all around your being, every aspect of your being, your physical body, your mental body, your spiritual body, your energetic body. Just allow all of these to receive the energies from the above and from the below. And know that you are a child of the earth and cosmos, and you are so loved. You are so deeply loved. Take one more deep breath in now, into your heart center, filling up, allowing your lungs to expand fully, and hold that breath at the top for just a moment. Allow your chest to expand and open and really feel the vastness of this cosmic space within your chest, in the heart center where the lungs and the heart are located. Really feel that. Feel the expansiveness that is possible there. And then release that breath, releasing, relaxing. When you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes and come back fully present here. And keeping your candle burning and keeping your sacred objects very close to you, let us begin. I'm going to share my screen with you. And for a little while here, you will see the tiny thumbnails on the side. That is on purpose. If I make this full screen, I can't see my other notes. So let's go to the beginning, because that is the end. So here we're going to learn about how we can reclaim ritual and magic as well as astrology and alchemy as an integral part of our daily lives. Now, the reason that I felt it was so important to present on this is that Dr. Taria Ward and I, we lead the Global Community Dreaming Symposium, which is basically a global dream group every month. And we've had many, many instances where the dreams are quite clearly telling us that it's really important to remember the ancient rituals and ceremonies that our ancestors used to do all the time and that have been largely forgotten. And so we really stand at this choice point today. We really stand at a moment where we know we need to step into an expanded vibrational frequency. We need to move out of the mind and into the heart. We need to really cultivate oneness instead of separation. And these are all beautiful things to say, right? And beautiful things to talk about. But how do we actually do that in a really practical way? And so that is where ritual and magic come in, and the remembrance of our power as creator beings is at the absolute heart of all of this. So when I talk about magic, then what do I mean? What is this that I'm bringing in? Because magic has all kinds of connotations, and it can feel like sometimes unicorns and rainbows, and like what are we really trying to accomplish here? Well, magic is really about our power as creator beings. Okay, and so our remembrance of the magical modalities, and this includes alchemy, astrology, and ritual, as well as many others, is really about us coming back into and fully remembering and reassembling our power as creator beings. And this is power which has been lost and forgotten over many, many millennia of abuse and mistrust and lies and illusions. And we're truly here now in 2021 and beyond. Those who are alive now and feeling the call, we are here to reclaim that power. Now, this is about men and women doing this together. All races, all ethnic backgrounds coming together. All genders and sexual preferences coming together, because there are no dividing lines here. We are all powerful creator beings, just as these trees here are, just as the earth and the other planets are, and the stars, just as mountains and rivers are powerful creator beings. So is every single human who chooses to open up to their full potential. And we are ready to activate and amplify our power and to use it for good, to create the brightest possible future for our world. Now, I want to invite you to close your eyes just for another minute here and drop into a really deep space within yourself. So go ahead, drop in, take another deep breath into your heart, breathing in, filling up with the oxygen and the sunlight and all the miracles around us. And just allow yourself to really easily, without thinking about it, travel back in time to a past life or an ancestral memory from 3,000 years ago or more. Way, way back to a time when you could truly feel your own ancient power. The power of the priest or priestess, perhaps. Maybe the power that you held as a midwife or an herbalist or an oracle or a shaman or a healer. Feel yourself in this past life or this ancestral memory and notice how this power flows through your being. This power that emanates from the divine, from creator, from source, from the great mystery, from the god or the goddess. And then just allow yourself to walk around a little bit, to move around in this past lifetime so that you can feel this power in your movements, right? How do you stand? Are your shoulders back? Is your chest a little more open, right? Is your head held a little more high? Also feel this power in your thoughts. in the integrity of your actions in this lifetime, in the clarity of your mind and heart, in all that you do. And just allow yourself to be in this power. Feel your deep inner knowing that you are truly a creator being, and that you can create anything you wish as long as it is in alignment with the natural order of the universe. Just really feel yourself there. Feel that power flowing through your entire being. And let this sink in. Let this become a lived memory that you can come back to now in this lifetime and remember how this feels. This very, very ancient and powerful version of yourself. All right, so take one more deep breath into your heart space, breathing in, opening, expanding the chest. And release that breath fully. Come back and open your eyes. Now you felt that power. You felt how strong it was, and we all have access to this if we choose to. But somewhere along the way, we were told, and truly many times along the way over the last few thousand years, we were told that power is bad, that it's dangerous, that those in power only know how to take advantage of others, that we should hide our power, that we should forget that we even have it. But these statements are lies. They are illusions, and they were told to us in order to keep us small and make us forget just how capable and powerful we truly are. And these lies have been told to us in so many different ways over the past, really 5,000 years, by the churches, by different mainstream religions, by those in charge who wanted people who were under them, right, who are less than them, to feel less than, to feel small, to feel insignificant, so they could stay in domination. Now, this is not to place the blame anywhere. There were both, men and women and people of every color and ethnicity working as priests and priestesses and shamans who were pushed down by this system. So I don't even like to use the word patriarchy, because I feel like it casts this shadow, supposedly on the masculine or on men, and I don't think that's appropriate, right? This was a collective thing. This was happening at the same time in the Incan lands and the Aztec and Mayan lands as it was happening in the Sumerian lands and the Mediterranean lands, on opposite continents on either sides of the oceans. This was a collective shift that was happening, okay, of people rising into power and wanting to make those under them less than. Now, when we go back in time, what we find is that in these ancient times, there were mystery schools devoted to teaching people about the deep power that we each possess. And so before the mystery and the magic were shut down, these mystery schools actually were teaching us, were informing us, were opening us up in a very, very real and raw and experiential way, power you just felt in meditation that we just did. Now, what were those mysteries? These were the teachings about how to harness the power of these kinds of topics that I have listed here, right? And these are teachings about how humans can evolve and expand our ability as creator beings based upon, here are some of the mysteries: sacred sexuality, the mysteries of birth, life, and death, magical spells and words of power, oracular and divinatory abilities, herbal and natural remedies, which actually survived for quite a long time, but now have been greatly replaced by the pharmaceutical industry. Entheogenic medicines were very much a part of this in ancient times and are making quite a resurgence now, helping us on our path. Astrology and alchemy, energetic forms of healing. Even the beauty and inherent healing potency of nature is part of the mysteries. The innate power of the sacred feminine and the innate power of the sacred masculine. All of these and more are examples of what was taught in the ancient mystery schools. And notice that all of these are subjects that are deemed the most controversial in our modern society. And this is because the mysteries were outlawed over thousands and thousands of years as evil and witchcraft and the work of the devil, or, fill in the blank, right? With whatever wording you might have heard or been taught. And this started thousands of years ago. And we still carry these scars today. Now, at a certain point, between the time when the mystery schools were in full swing and we were fully open to our power as creator beings, somewhere between there and now, right? At a certain point, all of those mysteries, including the potent secrets of divine masculine and divine feminine power, were forced to go into hiding. Now, this began during the Bronze Age, and I'll actually skip ahead to this slide. During the Bronze Age, starting between 3500 BC to 2500 BC, the rulers and leaders of the priesthood began to tell the people that they could no longer access the divine by themselves. Previous to this, in the Neolithic and even going back into the Paleolithic times, the people were in deep communion and reciprocity with nature, right? So we could go out and see a sunset and know that that was the divine. We could go out and stand under the full moon and receive the power, the blessing of the moon, and receive the divine through that. And many, many, many other different ways, right? Through sacred sexuality, through oracular and divinatory work, all these things that I listed on the last slide. But now people started to come into power and to tell everyone that was, again, under them, right? That going into nature, connecting with the spirits of the land or the moon or the stars was no longer enough. That they needed to go through the intermediary of the priest in order to make contact with the creator. And now the inherent power within each person was taken away, and the people were forced to depend on the priest or the church leaders or the king to connect them with the creator. Now we see some examples of this here. This is one. Now this is in this bronze colored image toward the bottom right here. This is Tiamat, the cosmic mother goddess. Now she was the original primordial Babylonian serpent goddess who represents the great cosmic ocean and the chaos of creation. Now, how vast is that? So the great cosmic ocean was not just what we think of today as the oceans, but it was actually this image of, as you see over here on the left, this huge life-giving serpentine force, like life force, kundalini force, that was believed and known to wrap around the entire earth. And this is what sent the rains and the winds and the life force flowing through us along with the sun. Okay, so this is Tiamat. She also represents the chaos of creation. So that's very similar to the idea of Shakti, right? This infinitely moving energy that just through her movements and her dance creates all things. Now, this is an image from about 900 BC of the god Marduk defeating this cosmic mother goddess. Now, it's really ludicrous to think that this goddess that represents the great cosmic ocean and the chaos of creation could ever be defeated. Of course, she can't. She can't, right? Because nature can never be defeated. The oceans, the rains, the sun can never be defeated. And yet this is what was told to the people. These were the new myths that were created at this time. And it shifted and changed everyone's perspective on where did we come from in our original cosmologies and what is our power as individuals. Because previously to this, everyone could connect in with Tiamat, connect with the great cosmic ocean, connect with the chaos of creation, and receive that into themselves without any other intermediary. Here's another example of this. This is 2 images of the goddess Inanna Ishtar. So the Neolithic image of her is this beautiful, very gentle image of the goddess with wings, like fairy wings. She is standing with 2 goats or stags. And this is a poem that goes with her. I step onto the heavens and the rain rains down. I step onto the earth and grass and herbs sprout up. Now, as we move forward in time, here is the Bronze Age image of her. She had to be turned into the warrior goddess because there were these tribes arriving from the north and from the east and conquering the Babylonian Empire. And they were bringing weapons that had never been seen there before. They were riding on horses, which made them quite terrifying. They were bringing this very masculine dominated culture in, a culture of war and violence. And so the goddess, who originally began as this very nature-based, peaceful form that was deeply connected with the creatures, the plants and animals, to this much more warrior type image. So she has maces here behind her. She's ready to fight. She's standing on a lion, a vicious looking lion at that. She has a helmet with horns on it, right? She has shifted and changed to adapt into the mindset and into the perspective of the Bronze Age. Okay, so this is the shift that happened around that time of 3500 to 2500 BC and continued, of course, to evolve into what we now live in day to day in our modern world. So over many millennia, our perception of magic, and magic being our own innate power as creator beings, as well as the inherent power of all beings around us, including the earth, including the stars and planets in the cosmos, all of this perception of our magical abilities and the magic that's available to us was stripped away more and more over time. And it was replaced by fear, doubt, and a feeling of being much smaller than we truly are. Now, of course, there were many people who knew that this new perception, this new way of perceiving was a lie and continued to practice the mysteries. But for those who insisted on continuing to use and engage with the mysteries, they were often killed or outcast from their societies, right? This is what happened with the Inquisition and the witch burnings, and in so many different ways, as well. Also colonization and the indigenous peoples being killed by genocide, right? And so many of you on this call today were alive during past lives or ancestral lives where this happened. And so we hold this kind of trauma within us, right? Perhaps some of us were burned at the stake for being a witch. Perhaps some of us were driven out of our community because we wanted to continue, practicing our herbal craft or our divinatory craft or our shamanic healing practices. And so we suffered, right? We suffered when we tried to uphold the mystery before, and there can be great fear within us about truly reclaiming and stepping back into our power. But when we hide these powerful, mysterious parts of ourselves in the world around us, we're actually cutting off vital aspects of our being. And so magic then is about taking key actions that will connect us back into our power and the power of the mysteries that were stripped from us over the past 3,000 to 5,000 years. And we are truly living in a time now when we know it's critical to remember and reinstate our connection with these mysteries. And I've listed them again here because it's so powerful to see what they include, right? All of these things that have been quote unquote outlawed in our world today, we're ready to bring them back because these mystery aspects are still a part of us. They can never be taken away, truly. They're very much alive deep within us, and they're here to guide us. And so we just need to reawaken them, and they can come fully back into us and allow us to be whole and live fully and feel passion and aliveness once again. Now, I also want to just speak with you about ritual. What is ritual? And here, I can make this full screen now. So rituals, as it says here, are a feature of all known human societies. And this first paragraph is from Wikipedia. And these include not only the worship rites and sacraments of organized religions and spiritual traditions, but also rites of passage, atonement and purification rites, dedication ceremonies, coronations and inaugurations, marriages, funerals, and more. So many of the very common things that we see from, frequently: marriages, funerals, inaugurations, um, the Catholic Church, for example, which many of us grew up in, right? And the rite of the Eucharist, that is a ritual. But the kind of ritual I want to share with you today, in order to find this kind of ritual and connect with this, we really need to go back at least 5,000 years, maybe even 10,000 years, before the woundings, before the witch burnings, before the goddess was removed from her true and vast power, before all of us were removed from our true and vast power. And there are plenty of rituals that we can look at and point to as examples in human history, but the kind that we really need to restore at this time is the type of ritual that puts us back into connection with nature, with the earth and cosmos, with the natural law and the sacred architecture of the universe. And I love this quote. This is from a book called Witchcraft Medicine, which is extremely well researched and tells the history of natural, nature-based practices and rituals and a lot of herbal information, okay? And so just look at this quote. Neither the Inquisition, nor the threat of torture, nor the acts of so-called rational enlightenment have been able to damage nature's medicine. For this ancient medicine is nourished by the clear spring of wisdom and by the inspiration of the spirits of the plants, animals, stones, stars, and elements. Nature's medicine is still within us. And this is how we can connect with the natural order of the cosmos, with the sacred architecture of the universe, and bring this back, this original creator being power, back within ourselves. Now, I want to share with you some secrets of the goddess Nepthys. And Nepthys is so hidden in the shadows that she is difficult to even describe. She's difficult to even find images of in the hieroglyphs. And so it's easier, a little easier, to perceive her, to understand her, when we look at her in relationship to the great goddess Isis. Now, many of us are familiar with Isis, and she is here with us today for sure. Now, Isis is the maker of magic, the speaker of spells, and the bringer of light. But her sister Nephthys represents the opposite of that. Nephthys represents the shadow and what is hidden. Now, in the hieroglyphs, and when I went to Egypt earlier this year, there are many, 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 many images of Isis. And we know her because she has the throne on her head, and nearby you will always find an egg, the cosmic egg. Nephthys has the image of a house on her head, okay? And she is very, very hard to find in the hieroglyphs. There are just not many images of her. I didn't have a single one in all the pictures I took in Egypt. And so I found this one online, and even this image, you can see it was one of the best ones I could find, but it's very shadowy. How fascinating. She truly is hiding. She truly represents all that is hidden. And so as a result, she represents the shadow and she represents the mystery, and especially these mysteries that had to go into hiding, right? So imagine the priest or priestess, and maybe the temple is being burned down, right? And there are ancient scrolls that hold the wisdom that's been passed down for 10,000, 20,000 years. And just imagine yourself as the priest or priestess holding these scrolls and knowing these are the most sacred object in the entire temple and they must be protected, right? But the temple's burning down around you, and if you try to save them, your life will be threatened, right? So what do you do? How do you protect these scrolls? How do you preserve your own life while protecting these scrolls? These were the kinds of decisions that those trying to uphold the integrity of the mysteries at one point or another had to face. And this is a very visceral memory that's in many of us. So Nephthys comes to our aid. She is here to protect what has been hidden, okay, and what was maybe saved and guarded and brought to a safe place by somebody sacrificing their life in order to keep those mysteries safe at some point in time. Now, this image here in the top left is a very sacred image that represents one of the most important moments in all of the Egyptian mythology. And this is the moment when the god Osiris, Isis's husband, has been dismembered by his brother Set. And Isis has moved all around throughout the land and gathered all the pieces of his body and put him back together. And she is here to revive him, to resurrect him just enough. And this is Isis here as the kite bird hovering above Osiris, just enough to conceive their son, Horus, before Osiris then moves into becoming the god of the underworld. Now, Nephthys is here at the head of Osiris. She is holding the energy for this magical act to occur. The resurrection of Osiris and the conception of Horus. She is here holding the energy, holding the frequency of life in order for this to occur. Now, there's some information on this slide about both Isis and Osiris. Okay, and we can see that Isis represents many, many, many things. And she is the most enduring and most honored goddess of ancient Egypt. Now, she's associated with the bright blue rainbow flashing star Sirius. And she was linked to the time of the annual flooding of the Nile when life would return to the land. Now, that time is known as the Lion's Gate, and we will celebrate that in early August here in our modern times. It was happening actually in mid-July, actually very close to this time right now in ancient Egypt. Now, Nephthys, on the other hand, is the goddess of mourning, the goddess of the night and darkness, death, protection, and embalming. She was the last of Nut's 5 children to be born, whereas Isis was the second child to be born. Now, interestingly, Anubis, who we're going to meet in just a moment, is the illegitimate child of Osiris and Nephthys. So the story goes that Osiris and Nephthys were together at night in a garden. And because Nephthys and Isis are sisters and they look so similar, Osiris mistook Nephthys for Isis and made love with her. And she had this child, Anubis. Now, when Nephthys bore this child when he was born, she was so ashamed that she left him out in the desert to die. But Isis went and found Anubis and raised him as her own and completely forgave Nephthys and Osiris for what had happened. So rather than become rivals over this event, Isis and Nephthys are very, very close companions. Now, there are 3 Sirius stars, A, B, and C. Sirius A is the one that we can see with the naked eye from the earth. And Sirius A represents the goddess Isis. All the light, right? All the bright rainbow flashing light is Isis. Sirius B, which is very hidden, represents Anubis. And Sirius C, which is massively hidden, represents Nephthys, the very most hidden and mysterious. Now, Isis and Nephthys together hold the balance for all of life to thrive. They hold the electromagnetic frequency of life itself. And Nephthys specifically holds the balance for what has needed to go into hiding, into the shadows, to be hidden within each of us as individuals. When we work with our shadows for healing, when we bring up things that maybe we really didn't want to look at, but we know are important to work with, we are going into the realm of Nephthys, and we can ask her for support in this. And today we are gaining the courage to uncover these nearly forgotten mysteries and experience their potency once again in our lives. Now, these images here are from the hieroglyphs in Egypt, and this is Isis and Nephthys, the twin serpents, holding the electromagnetic frequency of all life with their wings up. These cobras in the center with the helmets of Upper and Lower Egypt, which represents the unification of all peoples, are said to be a representation of Isis and Nephthys together, again, holding the energy for all of creation. And this is an image of Isis in a tomb where a pharaoh was buried. And you will notice that her wings are down. And Nephthys was also on the other side of this tomb with her wings down. When their wings are down, it means there is a pause. This is the sacred moment of silence when life has stopped. Now, life never ends, okay? It pauses for a moment and then a new life begins again. This is one of the main messages from ancient Egypt, is that life is eternal. But there is this moment of the sacred pause. The pharaoh has crossed into the other realms, led by Anubis, who will meet next. And even Anubis is here. Anubis and Wepawet are on either side of this Isis. Now here is Anubis, also known as Anpu. And he is the opener of the pathways, who opens the doorway into the other realms. And you see here in this image, this is from the tomb of Nefertari. This is from approximately 1500 BC. It has been restored. He is smiling in this image. He is a friendly helper, actually, even though he is assisting us out of this life in the tombs. He is our friend. And he is pictured as a black dog, a black hyena, or a black jackal. Now, the reason that we say that he's helping us is that he brings us from a heavy, dense 3D experience of being in the physical body, being weighed down by the denseness of 3D life. And he helps us to enter into 5D and beyond. He helps us to enter into those higher dimensions, the other realms, into a space where the veil can be torn away and the mysteries can be revealed. So you can see here that both Nephthys and Anubis are guides for us, are protectors, and are going to show us the pathway to open the mysteries back up. And Anubis, as Normandy Ellis so beautifully says, she says, he runs ahead of us on the path and looks back, smiling, beckoning for us to follow. And he knows that he's taking us outside of our comfort zone. He knows he's taking us away from all that we have known and all that is familiar here in the 3D. But he's welcoming us to ascend. He's welcoming us into really an exploration of all that we cannot see and the beauty that is there. This is an image from Abydos Temple with Anubis and Pharaoh Seti I. And so Anubis invites you to transcend the limits of 3D reality. He tells us that what you perceive as the edge of your body is not the edge of anything. We are so interconnected and intertwined with every other thing around us. We do not end at this skin. We are interpenetrating with all the other beings. Our lungs are connected with the trees and the rivers. Our aura merges into the trees, the birds, the air, all the beings around us. We are intertwined with and breathing the same eternal breath of all things, the same eternal breath of the earth, the same eternal breath of all the stars. And we, as human beings, truly are made up of the elements from exploded stars that reformed into new patterns right now in the pattern of our physical body in this lifetime, and carrying the same vital original principle of life in every molecule. Now I share these truths here because when we speak in a little bit more about ritual and about magic, it's really important to know that we are not separate beings asking for help and hoping that something will arrive to us as an individual. That is not how it works. We are deeply interlaced, interwoven, interconnected with all other things. And when we can pull on this particular thread here, it shifts all the outcomes on the other side of that thread, right? And when we can welcome in a higher vibrational frequency to our being, it allows everything around us to also raise its vibrational frequency. So when we perform rituals, when we ask for assistance from the cosmic order, when we ask to come deeper into alignment with the cosmic order, we are connecting with all of the other beings around us, and they're all participating in this. It's very important to know that. We are truly one with all that is. Now, this first paragraph here is paraphrased from the book, The Time of the Black Jaguar by Arkan Lashwala. Very, very powerful and important teacher for our times. He says, our purpose as human beings is to sing and dance and light the sacred fires upon the earth, because these actions that we take will enliven all beings and Pachamama herself. And so it is actually our sacred responsibility to sing and dance and light the sacred fires. And this is what we do in our ritual work. So we can infuse the magic of ritual into our day-to-day lives. We can learn to live shamanically, to find magic everywhere, to become very comfortable with walking between the realms. And we can embody an expanded vibrational frequency that will truly create the future that we know is possible. As Charles Eisenstein says, that we know in our hearts is possible, and indeed it is our sacred responsibility to do so. Now I want to invite you into a practice to find proof of magic and miracles in your own life. So I invite you to get out your journal or a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. And we're going to spend just a few minutes on this. Maybe let's do 3 minutes. And the invitation here is to write down the turning points in your life. So just close your eyes and let's drop into a little bit of a meditative space for a moment here. Connecting in with your heart. And just ask your heart before you even begin writing, what were the key turning points in my life? What were the moments where magic broke through? Now you might know these because there were synchronicities that stand out in your memory about those times. These are the times you knew that you were guided. Or maybe an event occurred that changed everything. So I'll be quiet here for a couple of minutes and just write down all of these synchronistic, magical moments that you can think of in your life. And then I would love to have you share them, a few of them, in the chat with us. Yay, Jen. I love that. So take another minute just to write down whatever comes through for you. The synchronicities, the turning points, the moments where magic broke through, the times you know you were guided, the moments where something occurred that changed everything. And yes, when you're ready, go ahead and share in the chat. So Jay Kleinstein says, the death of my parents. Now this is important because these moments are not all positive, right? Or they are always positive, right? But they might seem very painful at first. They might actually seem like a huge challenge or something very, very sad or upsetting or frustrating at first. It might not seem like beauty and magic, but it is all magic, right? We are so guided. Even illnesses, even times of death or letting go or releasing loved ones, even losing a job or the end of a relationship can be the most magical thing that ever happened to us because it opens us up to what is meant to come next. Lynn says, landing in my first Kundalini yoga class. Yes, beautiful. Jade says, in college, I dated 3 guys whose name was Andy. And by the third one, I knew who I was going to marry. Wow, Jade, that's amazing. Yes, I love how the synchronicities speak to us each in these different powerful ways. Rana says, a stranger read my energy while I was visiting a hot spring. She left no question. I hadn't even known what energy was. Wow. 7 years ago yesterday. Oh, amazing, Rana. Thank you for sharing. Lynn says, receiving my personal mantra from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Beautiful. Marianne says, I ran away at age 16. Oh, wow, yes, what a powerful experience I'm sure that was, Marianne. June says, the feeling of coming home when I started to teach spiritual philosophy back in the late 70s. The births of my children, the death of my husband. Yes. Carmen says, losing a child. Yes. Marianne says, met my husband. Janine, pulling my mother out of the campfire that she had fallen into. Later, she told me she remembered being burned at the stake. Oh, wow. So powerful, Janine. Marianne says, death of my father and post-polio at age 35. Carmen says, being fostered by people who gave opportunities that wouldn't normally have happened. Yes, and so many more beautiful, extremely powerful notes here. Thank you all for sharing. Claudia says, quitting my corporate job, going to England when the synchronicities occurred one by one. Yes, and sometimes we know that these synchronicities are coming through as instructions, right? And we have to follow them, even when it feels like jumping off a cliff. We have to go. We have to quit the job. We have to move to another country. We have to follow our heart in some way that others cannot possibly understand. And yet we know we must do that. So keep your list, okay? This list it's proof of magic. Now, of course, our hearts don't need proof, but our minds sometimes do. So keep this list that is proof of magic. And you can even expand upon this if you would like. Maybe journal a little more about why each of these moments, each of these events or breakthroughs or initiatory experiences was important for you, right? Like what happened, what changed, what followed this, what new opportunities came as a result of it. How was your life completely changed after this? And keep it somewhere that you will be able to see it every day and really let these miracles and magic sink in and become even more and more a part of you and a part of how you make decisions going forward and a part of how you perceive reality. We have been very trained to perceive reality in logical, rational ways. And we need to do everything we can to really shift into a much more magical, expansive, vast perspective of all the force of creation that moves through us. And this list is one great way to do that. Now, I'm going to share with you in the chat a couple of options for how you can enter into a shamanic journey that I'm going to share. Actually, let me see here. Before we do the shamanic journey, we're going to do a shamanic journey and an experiential ritual, which You'll first do the ritual in the journey, in the energetic space, and then I will give you instructions for how to do the ritual following the full moon on the 23rd, okay, in actual physical reality. Before we go to that, though, I want to let you know about a really beautiful and special opportunity, a very exciting way that I've created that you can work with me over the next 4 months and learn how to engage more and more with magic, with the mysteries, and with ritual. And this is how to really enhance your skill, your devotion, your refinement with magic and ritual in a way that feels very aligned for you. And this is going to help you to regain your innate ability to call upon the natural law and cosmic order so you can truly come back into full wholeness, full alignment with the earth and cosmos, full passion and vitality in all that you do. Now I will share, stop sharing this screen and share a different screen with you. And yes, I've seen the few comments about the birds and the insects. We have these beautiful cicada songs going on here. I just love the cicadas. My birthday is coming up on August 11th, and whenever the cicadas start singing, it sounds like my birthday is coming. I love it. And yeah, the birds are so powerful here. So hope you've all been enjoying them, the cicadas and the birds throughout the call today. So let me share the screen with you, and I also will put the link in the chat in case you'd like to check it out on your own timing. There is the link to go and visit this page. Now, I'm not going to read a lot from this. There's a lot of information on this page that tells more about the program and how it will be really powerful for you. But this is a new class, a new online course that I have created. It is a 9-session alchemical journey that I will guide you through that starts on Monday, July 26th, and it will run until the middle of December. So it's a beautiful way to connect in with magic, alchemy, astrology, and ritual from now until the end of the year and really be able to enter into 2022 in your fullest power and ready to create all that you know that you're here to do. And I have this quote here because it's just so powerful, right? This ancient medicine can never be damaged because it is nourished by the clear spring of wisdom and by the inspiration of the spirits of the plants, animals, stones, stars, and elements. And we will be working with all of these in this class. Now, as it says here, we know that there are infinitely more layers of light in the world than we can see day to day with our human eyes. We catch glimpses of the mystery, but it can seem fleeting, right? And this is because we have forgotten the sacred and appropriate ways to ask for what we need, to set intentions in a respectful manner aligned with the divine intelligence. We have forgotten just how intricately, infinitely interwoven we are with all that is. And perhaps most importantly, we have forgotten our power and the fact that every word we say, every thought, every action sends fractals and ripples out which affect every other thing in existence. And we really want to come back into a space of using our power with refinement, with devotion, with care, and with understanding of all that is possible through this power. And with trust and surrender and blessing from the deepest wells of our heart as we send our prayers and our intentions out into the universe. The time has come for us to once again make offerings upon the land, to hold rituals that will shift the very foundations of reality, and to remember the sacred words of power for our prayers and petitions. Even to ask the stars and planets to facilitate a miracle for us. And this is really not about manifestation, right? This is not the secret. This is not, here's how you ask for, call in a new relationship. This is not about asking for what our egos might tell us that we need. This is really about opening up to the highest truths of the universe, to the gifts that we were meant to carry and allowing these truths and these gifts to flow through us in an entirely new way, because we're coming into this much higher level of alignment. And it's about remembering and acknowledging that the deepest desires of the Creator are the exact same deepest desires that you didn't even know were swimming in the center of your heart. So here are the steps to restoring cosmic order on an individual level. And these are the steps of the rituals that we will do together, okay? So we're going to, step 1, ask the stars, planets, universal forces, earth, stones, crystals, unconditional love, the 5 elements, and your guides to remove the blocks, fears, and resistance that have been keeping you stuck. And we're going to take specific devotional action steps, which is performing a ritual, to set these changes into motion. And then we're going to feel the shifts, the transformation, the opening, right? We're really opening up our hearts and our souls and our life experiences to what the universe wishes to send us for our highest good and for the highest good for all. And then we're going to ask the stars and planets and universal forces and earth and stones and crystals and unconditional love and the 5 elements and our guides to help love, joy, laughter, freedom, passion, abundance, and playfulness flow into our lives, and perform a ritual to set these changes into motion. So we need to first remove the blocks, the fears, then we can welcome in all of the abundance. And what will happen when we do this with true devotion and refinement and in alignment with the cosmos? We're going to be very much studying astrology in this class and really looking at how can we set our intentions in alignment with the stars and the planets at every moment. And over this next 6 months to 2 years after this course, really truly watch your entire life shift into a joyful prayer and a song beyond your wildest imagination, with all that we have set into motion here. Now, through this method, we are powerfully bringing ourselves back into alignment with the ancient and indigenous ways of being. So as I was saying earlier, we're not asking for something, you're not going to be asking for something from your ego or trying to force your will upon the elements, right? We're not even asking for what is coming from our human perception of what might or might not be possible or available to us. Instead, we are creating from a place of openness and receptivity and asking the divine intelligence to guide us in what our intentions should be, and what the most refined and aligned intention is that we can set into motion. And we're going to respectfully honor the sacredness and life force of all other beings as we make these prayers and petitions. We're going to use our thoughts, words, and actions purposefully and with care, and as a result, make the world a better place each day. And through doing all of this, we become ready to receive the blessings that have always been meant for us, really and truly. Now, I won't read the whole page here. I do want to show you the curriculum. This will be held on Mondays at 1 p.m. New York time, and recordings, of course, will be provided after every class. So we're going to begin on Monday, celebrating the full moon in Aquarius. And we're going to dive first into the importance of magic and ritual. And we will work with the Hindu god Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, in order to begin shifting the areas of your life that have been stuck for a long time. And we're going to anchor you in with your Earth Star chakra to lay the foundation for a potent and expansive ritual practice. The second class will be on August 9th at the new moon in Leo. And we will connect in with our primordial nature and the Egyptian goddess Sekhmet, her dual nature as mother and destroyer, and how we can tune into her ferocious feline energy to shift our understandings of reality, and so much more. Then on August 23rd at the full moon in Aquarius, which, notice, we're having a full moon in Aquarius on July 23rd and also on August 23rd. So this is a true blue moon. This is the second full moon in the sign of Aquarius in 2021. So we're going to talk about why this particular full moon is a very special time to engage with the cosmos, and we're going to connect with the dragon beings who are able to transmute lower energies and guide us in our ascension process. Important to note is that we will be working with the alchemical journey. So we're going to begin with calcination, the first step of alchemy, in class 1. Then by class 3, we'll move on to dissolution, the second stage of alchemy, and we'll continue working with this. Now, this is to ensure a deep and very potent and profound transformation when you follow these alchemical steps. It just strengthens the astrological piece, it strengthens the ritual piece, it strengthens the connection with the guides. All of it become much, much stronger and more transformational when we include alchemy. On September 6th, we will meet at the new moon in Virgo. This may be pre-recorded because I will be traveling and leading a retreat in Greece close to that time, but we'll see. If I can possibly meet live, it might be broadcasted live from Athens, Greece, who knows. Now this will be exploring tearing down the veils, okay, and the principle of Maya, the illusion, the veil that was placed over our eyes when we incarnated. And we'll work again with Nepthys, Isis and Nepthys, who reveal to us both the light-filled and shadowy aspects of ourselves as we explore the alchemical stage of separation. Now, this is really a deep dive into who am I, okay? And we will carry out a ritual of fire scrying and drumming to ask the universe this infinite question. Then on October 4th, we will meet at the new moon in Libra, and you will learn a ritual to open the heart with Venus and Ma'at. We are both very, very deeply connected with the heart chakra and the heart center in our bodies. And the heart chakra connects the upper and lower chakras, and it connects the earth and cosmos within us. We will explore the ancient Egyptian principle of building the temples on the earth in sacred alignment with the cosmos, and how to really bring that into your own being, that sacred alignment of the above and below in everything that you do. On October 18th, we'll meet for the full moon in Aries. Now notice all of these meetings are aligned with the new moons and full moons. We're also going to tap into the specific astrological alignments at these different times. For example, here, this will be Mercury in Libra, which is the perfect time to heal wounds caused by arguments or misunderstandings. And we're going to really work with that. This will also be about the alchemical stage of fermentation, which is a turning point of transmutation and stepping into a completely different form, a completely new reality. So this is a place where you will really feel the transformation kicking into motion very strongly by this point. And again, there's so much more. I'm not reading all the words from every class. There will be so much beauty and magic every time we meet. November 1st, we will connect with the new moon in Scorpio and the power of the ancient mystery schools. Right? And we'll look at oracles, runes, and hieroglyphs as divination tools. And I will have recently returned from Greece at this point, and I will bring back so much wisdom and power and beauty from all of those journeys and that pilgrimage as we connect with ancient Greece and the letters of ancient Egypt and the sixth stage of alchemy, distillation. On November 15th, at the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, so our last two sessions will be meeting on eclipse dates, or very close to the exact eclipse dates. And we'll talk about the power of eclipses in our magical practice, a moment when the portals are open, the veils are lifted, and anything could happen. Now, this is a very intense astrology moment at this time, November 15th. I will explain that to you much more at the time when we meet, but you'll be feeling that, and you'll be feeling that truly this is a time when the structures of our world can be broken down and new worlds and realities can be built in their place. That will be very, very present for us at that time in November. And we're going to really work deeply here on energetic clearing and cleansing. So giving you tools to clear your environment, your space, as well as your physical and energetic being, so that you can be a clear channel for the most potent insights and transmissions to flow through. And we will work with the Egyptian god Osiris to help us with this. And there will be a beautiful salt ritual and radical space clearing practice that I will share with you during this class. Now, for class 9, I will be traveling in Egypt at that time. So this date, I will tell you as soon as I know, but it will be somewhere close to December 6th, which will be the total solar eclipse, new moon in Sagittarius. And here we will dive into the soul star chakra and the realms above. So tuning into our soul star chakra, which is this point a few inches above the crown, and the part of us that is embedded in the cosmos and connecting us to all of the realms above. And we'll look at transcending the limits of 3D reality, which Anubis helps us with, opener of the pathways, as I mentioned today, and how we are truly creating the future with every ritual and really with every thought, action, and word that we speak and share. And we're going to work with integrating the energy of this final eclipse on the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. So this eclipse in Sagittarius is wrapping up a 1.5 year cycle where we have learned so much from Gemini and Sagittarius that we almost cannot stand it anymore. So many beautiful shifts and changes have been coming through. So we're going to look at what are all the lessons that we've learned over the past 1.5 years, and how can we integrate these with a road opening ritual carrying us forward into the new year and new worlds of adventure and discovery. So you can see that this course is very comprehensive. It will be extremely powerful. It is 9 sessions of beauty and ritual and magic and astrology and alchemy. And so it is valued at $777. The early bird price would be $444, and that's what I would normally offer it at. But because this feels so aligned to offer these programs on a donation basis, I want to go ahead and do that again. So if you come to this page, and I'll put the link in the chat now. If you come to this page, you can click here to submit a donation in the amount that you choose and join the class. And just simply donate the amount that feels aligned for your heart and soul at this time. And know that I deeply, deeply appreciate all of your donations in the amount that is right for you. So there is no judgment. There is no, oh, it has to be this much, or it has to be at least. It's really, I want you to just take into account, the value that will be here. Many of you have probably taken classes with me before, and you know the deep value and all the magic that we experience together on these adventures. And taking that into account, and then also knowing what is right for you financially at this time, send what feels truly aligned. And I truly can't wait to embark on this potent adventure with you. There are some testimonials below in case that is helpful for you to read the testimonials. So I welcome all of you. I would love to have all of you in the class, of course, if it feels aligned for you. And this is going to be open until July 27th. Now, our first class will be July 26th. So ideally, you would join by the 25th so you can get the notifications to join live on the 26th. But if you don't make it by then, we will keep it open till the end of the day, 11:59 p.m. New York time on July 27th. And so don't delay. It's just going to be open for a little bit under a week because it is donation based and a very special offer here. Okay, so let me stop the share. And let me see if you have any questions in the chat. Right now I'm in Maryland. I live half the time in Maryland and half the time in Asheville, North Carolina. So right now here, this beautiful lush greenery is in Maryland. And there was another question, how many minutes? So each session will be about 2 hours. It's 90 to 120 minutes for each call, but usually by the time we do Q&A at the end and everything, it's about 2 hours for each class session. Toby, your question there. And I do just want to share, I feel it is extremely important for us to really deepen into the practical ways that we can engage with the earth and the cosmos, the physical ways, so this is bringing together, and this is what astrology does, and this is what alchemy does. The link not work? The link should be working. This is a correct link. If it didn't work, try pasting it into a different browser. And I'll try it again in my different browser just to make sure. But yeah, it should work. So if anything, if the link doesn't work, just try it in a different browser and it should be fine. But we really need to anchor into practices that are bridging the physical and the spiritual. right? Bridging the 3D and the energetic higher dimensions in order to help and assist with this tremendous change that is moving through all of us. I'm sure you're all feeling it if you're on this call, that the energy flowing through from the stars, from the sun, from the earth is shifting very rapidly. And our timelines are shifting rapidly. I know time is just acting in these very fascinating ways in my world, and I talk to many people who feel the same. And how can we engage with this in a real practical way, right? Ritual is the answer to that. And ritual is going to ground us into the earth. Ritual is going to connect us with golden tendrils into the cosmos. Connect us, link us into that sacred architecture, help us to feel and experience the oneness in a really beautiful, visceral, personal way, and bring us into alignment, into refinement with all that is, so that we can fully receive, and we're in this time when we need to each be offering our highest contribution to contribute to the whole, to contribute healing and love and teaching and joy, whatever you're here to give, right? And we want to be able to give that at the highest level. So when we do these ritual practices, when we clear the ego out of the way, right? And when we clear space for the new and the abundance to flow in, and then we ask for what the universe wants to send to us, that is how we come into alignment with our highest contribution and know how to move forward and know what steps to take next and allow the opportunities to flow in. Because the universe always wants us to have every single thing that we need in order to fulfill our highest contribution. But we block that, right? It's always trying to send those things to us, whatever we need most. But we block it because of our fear, our doubts, or our thinking we're small, or our thinking we're not powerful. And so through these rituals, we're going to really open up the channels for you to receive, and really open up the channels for the universe to be able to send you all that it wants to, so that you can do your absolute highest good in this lifetime. So very critical for us to be working with all of this right now. I feel it's just so important. Let me see. Valerie has a question. Going back to the earlier experience, is it to glean the positive out of the not so happy? What if there isn't positive? Well, so there's always positive. Sometimes it just has not been revealed yet. Okay. And sometimes it might not be revealed until maybe even a next lifetime. But usually when we enter into this deep healing work, when we surrender, when we say the sacred yes to a program like this magic and ritual one, new perspectives will be revealed, new ways of understanding and healing and openings will be revealed. So Valerie, I think that, to look at the not so happy experiences, if we're not understanding, if it's just not making sense, right? Why do I need to go through this? Why has this been so difficult, or why has it lasted so long? The best thing that we can do is to dive in more deeply with Nepthys, with Anubis, into the shadows and see what more is there. See what's been hidden from view. See what we're meant to understand about what doesn't seem to make any sense. And these practices that will be in this class will be a really, really beautiful, powerful way to do that. So I hope that's helpful. Marisol, yes, absolutely. If you want to donate in 2 parts, yes, give what you can today, and then you can just write in to me or my team when you want to send the second part, when the time is right for you. That is absolutely fine. And thank you for asking that question. Amy, welcome. Amy says she just donated. Yay. Welcome. So glad to have you in the class, Amy. That's beautiful. Claudia, I have a moon calendar saying the full moon is on Saturday, 24th of July for Europe. Yes. Okay, no, the full moon is this, depending on what time zone you're in, it's the 23rd or 24th. It's Friday or Saturday. We're going to have our class on Monday, the 26th, right after the full moon. So you are absolutely right. In Europe, it's Saturday, July 24th is the full moon in Aquarius. Yes. Yay, Robin, welcome. And yes, you can come back to this recording too if you are not able to stay on. I'm going to go into the shamanic journey in just a moment here. But if anybody needs to go, I understand, and this recording will be sent out soon, and you can do the journey when you're ready. All right. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Tracy. Libra, yay, welcome Libra. Oh, I'm so always so glad to have you in my classes. You are such a powerful creator being, Libra, and yeah, I can't wait to see all that you will experience here in this class. Yay, Jay Kleinstein, welcome, welcome, blessings. And Marianne, blessings, yay. Okay, yes, thank you, Marianne. Deeply, deeply appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay, well, let me share the shamanic journey here. Welcome, Christina, too. Yay. I'm really excited to see who will feel that sacred yes and feel the call to come into this class, because this is going to be probably the deepest class that I have ever offered, other than the mystery school, which some of you are in right now. But really, we're gonna journey deep, everybody. It's going to be extremely beautiful and powerful. So can't wait to see who's feeling that call and who will gather with me over the next 4 months for this. Now, let me put in the chat here 2 links. So the first link in the Zoom chat is a music link, okay? A meditation music from Celestial Meditations or Celestial. And then the second link is a 15-minute drum beat. Now, in the shamanic journeying, I'll just explain briefly here, it is very helpful to listen to music or a drum beat to really allow your focus to shift to that and allow the music or the drum beat to take you, okay? And what I mean by that is when we drop in deeply to the music or the drum beat and really let go of anything else going on around us, any thoughts, any sounds, just let it all go, drop into the music or the drum beat. It allows our brain to shift very rapidly into a theta brainwave state. Now, this is a state of deep meditation or even light sleep, and this is a visionary brain state where images may come through, feelings, tastes, smells, all of our senses, or at least one of our senses can be engaged, or it might just be a felt sense and a knowing in the heart. However it is for you, trust it, right? However you experience this. But when we listen to the music or the drum beat, it helps us drop in much more quickly. So I'm going to put a beautiful image up on the screen here. And I welcome you to just go ahead and close your eyes. Or you could gaze lightly at this image to begin if you wish. This is a full moon image here. And we're going to enter into the shamanic journeying space. And I'm going to guide you at the beginning, and then I'm going to allow you to just go at a certain point here. And this will be in total about 10 minutes, just so that you know the timing. So about 40 minutes after the hour is where we'll end. Okay, so closing your eyes or gazing lightly at this beautiful moon image. Just make sure you have pressed play on the music or the drum beat, and begin to allow that music or drum beat to carry you out of your normal, average, day-to-day state of consciousness and into a much deeper way of perceiving. And allow yourself to take some deep, slow, long breaths into your heart, filling up and expanding your chest with the abundance of the oxygen and the sunlight with every in-breath. And releasing, relaxing, and letting go of normal consciousness with every out-breath. And I invite you to imagine yourself in a beautiful place in nature that feels safe and comfortable and inspiring to you. And stand there barefoot with the soles of your feet receiving the unconditional love from Mother Earth, just letting this beautiful unconditional love energy flow up through the soles of your feet and into your, circulating around your entire being. And then raise the palms of your hands up toward the sky and allow yourself through the palms to receive the vast intelligence of all the stars and planets and the sun and moon and the cosmos. And let these energies that you're receiving from the great above and the great below swirl around and combine into a beautiful, alchemical, uplifting energy of your true innate power as you stand as a pillar between the above and the below, connecting both of those realms. And when you're ready, call in a guide. Now, perhaps this might be the goddess Nepthys or the god Anubis, or perhaps there's another guide that wants to show up and join you and guide you today. So just allow your guide to arrive there, and you can welcome them, look deeply into their eyes and thank them for coming here to help you today. And watch your guide smile at you and wink at you, and then very quickly, they're going to carry you up and up and up above the earth so that you are looking down and seeing the earth spin below you. And they're going to then zero in a particular place on the earth where you lived previously in a past life or an ancestral life. And they're going to fly you down, down, down to that place on the earth way back in time. And they're going to take you to a scene from the past where something very dense and very heavy originated in your experience, in the experience of your soul. So watch this scene unfold. Maybe this was a big event, maybe it was a tiny little thing that happened, but whatever it was, it created a wounding for you. It created a denseness, a heaviness that you've carried forward in all the lifetimes that proceeded from there. So just take this in as the witness, as the observer. Notice what happened and ask your guide, why did this need to happen this way? And what is the lesson or the teaching that I was meant to learn from having experienced this? And once you have received that answer from your guide, allow your guide then to take you out of this scenario from a long time ago and to bring you into your current day life, and allow your guide to show you how this very same denseness and heaviness from that long ago time, how it is showing up in your life today. And just be with your guide. Let them show you this in a really powerful way. This might be something very unexpected. So just trust and receive this information from your guide about how this heaviness is showing up for you now. And then ask your guide, how am I meant to work with this? And how am I meant to heal this in this lifetime? What is there that I need to know or understand about this that I've not been able to see before? Now, your guide is going to ask you a very important question. And I welcome you to take all the time that you need before responding to this. Your guide is going to ask you if you are truly ready to clear this denseness and heaviness from your soul in this lifetime. And your guide is going to tell you that it will create tremendous change in your life if you choose to clear this. But if you do choose to clear it, you will be guided and protected and shown the way at every step. So go ahead, talk with your guide now. Allow them to ask you this question and sense into yourself and see, are you ready? Are you ready to truly release this, to truly let this be the lifetime that this old dense pattern gets to be healed once and for all generations forward and backward in your lineage? Sense into it and see what is right for you. Now, if the answer is yes, that you are ready to truly clear this old dense pattern, now then you're going to receive instructions from your guide on a ritual that you can do first here energetically in this shamanic journey. And secondly, between the full moon and the new moon coming up in actual physical reality. And your guide is going to tell you how to take this heavy, dense aspect of yourself and place it into an object that you will offer to the earth. So perhaps you might put it into cornmeal or tobacco, a small statue, a shell, a feather, something like this. So go ahead and follow your guide's instructions and infuse the energy of this dense, heavy aspect of yourself into this object and place it into the earth with your guide's help. Do this now energetically in the journey. Really allow yourself to feel your power and potency as a creator being while you are doing this ritual energetically. Feel the power of all your ancestors, all your past lives rising up through you, flowing through your veins as you carry out this powerful action. And when you have completed the ritual, say a prayer over the place in the earth where you put this object together with your guide. Set your intentions clearly, with refinement, with love, for this dense aspect to be fully released from you. And then turn to your guide and ask them if there's anything else you need to know or understand right now about this process, about what is happening here. And once you've received that wisdom from your guide and the ritual, the energetic ritual is complete, go ahead and thank your guide for being here with you today. Give them a hug, give them a kiss if you wish, and know that you can reconnect with this guide anytime that you like. And then allow your guide to go and allow yourself to move back into your physical being, into this here and now moment where you're attending this webinar, into the present time, and connect once again with your breath, breathing in deeply into the heart space, allowing your lungs to expand fully, your chest to fill up with the oxygen and sunlight and magic of our world. And then breathe out, releasing, relaxing. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Come back here to the present moment. Welcome back, everybody. Now I moved inside because it was starting to thunderstorm and rain, which I love, but would not be as good for my computer. So welcome back, everybody. I feel that this was a really deep journey for many of you. And so I'm honoring your experience, and I welcome you to come back slowly, okay? And definitely journal and write down the messages that came through, the information that came through. And I invite you sometime between, July 23rd and give you the exact dates here. Between July 23rd and August 5th or so, to carry out that ritual that you did in the shamanic journey, to do that in actual physical reality. Okay, so you have a couple weeks to do that. You got lots of time. And whatever that denseness and heaviness is, and however that is showing up in your life now, know that it can be worked with, it can be shifted. You have far more power than you've ever been told in order to work with that. And whatever it is that came through for you in this journey, if you are taking the class starting on the 26th, that is going to be the beginning point of the class, okay? Whatever is dense and heavy in your life, that you know has been holding you back for a long time and that you know needs to shift, that is the very first thing we're going to dive deeply, deeply into in the alchemy, astrology, and magic ritual immersion class. So I will put the link to that here one more time. And remember, it is donation based, so you can send the amount that feels aligned for your heart and soul. Here's the link to learn more and join. And if you're watching this on Facebook, I will put the link in the comments in just a moment here, very soon. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, thank you. Blessings. I can't wait to see you in the class. And now, does anybody have any questions about anything at all that we've covered a lot today for sure, but do you have any questions about what we've done here today? Anything that I can clarify? If so, go ahead and put your question in the chat. And we have a few hands raised. Some of your hands have been raised for the whole class, so I'm thinking you didn't really mean to. So if you do have your hand raised and you would like me to bring you over on video, just put that in the chat. Just say in the chat, I would like to come over on video, and I'll pull you over. Because I don't want to bring over somebody that didn't mean to be brought over. Luzia, this will be in the webinar mode because I do expect there to be a higher number of attendees in this class. And it gets a little overwhelming in the meeting if we have like 100 windows, open. So it will be in the webinar mode. And Jay Kleinstein, can we access the ceremony as we do it in real time? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean the one from the shamanic journey today, or do you mean the ones that we'll be doing in the class? Let me know, and then I can better answer that. Let's see. Valerie says, can the density be many, not just one? Yes, absolutely, Valerie. There can be layers and layers. Really trust what you saw in the journey today. This will have shown up in very different and unique ways for each one of you, okay? The density can definitely be many. I know for me, there's a particular density, fear that shows up in this lifetime. And I know it comes from layers and layers and layers of a repeating pattern that's been repeated for many, 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 many past lives and ancestral lives. So that may be what you're speaking about, or there may be multiple densities in this lifetime. Absolutely, that can be the case. And all of it we can work with in this context. So just trust what you saw in the journey, because that's going to be what's true for you. And yes, absolutely. Your intuition, Valerie, I know is very strong. So just tap in, you know, you know what is true for you. Mary says, I'm taking a class on dreaming with bee shamanism. That one looks amazing. I'm not taking that one currently, but I wish I had space to. It looks amazing. So yeah, enjoy that, Mary. Amazing. Jay Kleinstein is saying, access the ceremony of the guides as we bury our old selves. I guess I'm still not sure what your question is. So I don't know if there's a way you can write that a little bit more clearly. Can we access the ceremony of the guides as we bury our old selves? I'm just not really sure what you mean, so I'm not sure how to answer that. But if you want to know if you will have this recording, yes, you will absolutely have this recording. I'll send this out within 24 hours, probably much sooner. Hopefully that's helpful. Let's see here. Cynthia, blessings from South Africa. Namaste. Yes, blessings to you too, Cynthia, and to everyone there in South Africa with all that's going on. I'm sending you so much love and blessings for peace and a resolution in the very best ways to what's going on there. Christina, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if you can absolutely come back and listen to this recording while you do the physical ritual. Yes. Yes, yes, you will have this recording. So you can come back and listen to that again, absolutely. Let's see. Wonderful, Marie Alice. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Well, I think that we will close the call now. Thank you so much, all those who are attending live on Zoom and on Facebook. Wonderful to have your energy here. It's so powerful when we come together live and we share our energies all around the globe. It's like we're holding hands and holding hearts all around the world. And also thank you to those who are listening later and tapping into this energy and adding your own energy from different places all around the world later on. I hope you will really enjoy this and hope you've received so much. And if it feels aligned for you, I hope to see you in the Alchemy, Astrology, and Ritual class starting on Monday, the 26th. Can't wait to see you all there. All right. Many, many blessings, everybody. Mwah. Lots of love. So much love. Blessings.